Begin. So how are we doing? 53% theoretical, 15 material, but it doesn't look like we actually have any means for infrastructure material or weapon manufacturing, which I am assuming would be in the 1970s focus, because I think this is the end of the 1960s focuses. Just ran long. But now I'll have some tea. The main reason I didn't have the tea is because I hadn't bought it yet. A quadrumvirate. Okay. 4 people in charge, we call that the beginning of a power struggle. And we can pay off another 200 million. Please do. 18.99 billion. That's still less than 19 billion. Just don't ask how much less. Okay, Siberian mines have been expanded. Let's chase the sun. No, that's another yearly cost. Although we are far from the threshold, we have taken the first step. The foundations have been laid for a nuclear program that will propel us into the future. Today, it's just a group of scientists sitting in their labs, but tomorrow, it'll be reactors providing fuel and power for all of our people. And after that, warheads, missiles, silo, security, and then the world. We can see a light in the distance, and it is blinding and ultraviolet. And we still can't do that. Current stage of... Oh, I see. We're on theoretical. So once theoretical is done, we can click that button, then we go into material. And that probably adds some more material clicky buttons. No longer get the effects of civilian austerity. Civilian austerity we can keep off. It's the military austerity that we can't. We show light to the world with the power of the atom. Blessed be the atom. And her children. Yeah, back to 19 billion, but that's just because of my nuclear investments. Ledger, where was the ledger? There. I kind of want to know where I stand in GDP now. Because I imagine it must be pretty high. 4th. I'm bigger than Manchukuo, China, the Provisional Commissariat to Western Russia. I'm bigger than Italy. Bigger than England, bigger than Canada. How far behind? Okay, I'm a long way behind Germany. Germany's 3rd. And my debt is so much less than these guys. How are you paying for all of your stuff? Because you're only twice my size, and yet you've got so much more debt. You're 355 billion to my 19. They're getting 1.5 billion from misc income. The United States is getting 5 billion misc income. And Japan's paying 33 billion in miscellaneous costs. Oops. They're probably just printing money. Yeah, probably. Money printer goes brrrr. Yeah, Japan is rapidly moving to $1 trillion in debt. This game definitely needs to look at its economic systems. Republic of Iraq has beaten Iraq. Order 44. Strange news from Tokyo, at least as far as foreign correspondents were able to report on and see. Reports have also come in detailing the assassinations and suicides of multiple prominent Japanese political figures, including the very founder of the Taisai Yokusansai Kai himself, Fuminaro Kono, and Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal, Kuichi Kido. Whether these are linked to the great conspiracy throughout Japan and China is yet to be seen. Of note, the Privy Council has appointed Kishi Nobunusuke as the new Prime Minister of Japan. Kishi has come to power following a military coup attempt against the Diet and has promised to restore stability and peace to the empire, through any possible means. There are now rumours, though, that the Devil of Shower, seeking to implement the very system he has painstakingly built in Manchukuo. The Devil of Shower rises from hell. The way of the warrior is to be found in dying. Yamamoto Tsutomu. It's down to this. Yeah, Japan does not seem to be a great place right now. And there we go, we have chased the sun. So we can do the Merchant Marine, and then our focus tree is done. The port of Magadan now flies the royal banners of Rurik II and is quickly becoming the preeminent gateway to Russia. Unsurprisingly, this means that most trade entering the country to the east will arrive through Magadan. It is vital that all of our naval efforts are focused on ensuring the money continues to flow through the port. To that end, His Majesty has wisely given the order to form the Royal Merchant Marine. This is specialised naval task force will be entrusted with the safety of the trade route coming and going from the port of Magadan. With the loyal sailors of His Majesty's Merchant Marine at their side, the ships that bring wealth to the kingdom can finally rest easy knowing the waters are safe from potential ne'er-do-wells looking for easy prey. Slowly but surely, the frozen waters of the Far East shall fall under Rurik II's solemn protection. See, Magadan was an important place. So we have the right person there. Lydia's in charge. Because I remember we gave Tomsk to Yuri, and then Magadan to Lydia. And right now, that's all about protecting the sea zones. That's a militaristic thing. Lydia should be happy with this. I still want to see her become the Sea Queen of Siberia. And we're back down to 18 billion. And there shouldn't be anything else that costs me money, although my expenditures are now up to 1 billion. What are these expenditures? Oh, it's the latest one was the extra billion from Chasing the Sun, wasn't it? Yearly cost 150 million. Okay, that's what that was. Could have sworn that nuclear... Oh, no, I know what it is. Nuclear has a thing down here as the stockpiles. This is what I thought was going to be changing. Where are we at? 72%, 25%, 000. So we're still a ways away. Wish I could convert my political power into money. That would be nice. Merchant Marine, done. And there we go, focus tree is completed. What are we up to? September. So January 71, we shall see if this is indeed bugged. Or we'll go and secure Western Siberia for ourselves. Enhanced Industrial Administration, done. Those are all 75s. We can get the military construction, but that seems completely pointless. So let's keep upgrading our tanks. That sounds like a great idea to me. Yes. By placing automatic rangefinders onto the gunner's sight, we allow exact measurement of distance to a particular target, allowing for more precise, longer-range hits. Military austerity is over. We're not changing military austerity, though. So we just lost 700 million, or thereabouts. Although civilian spending is going up and up as well. I'm not building anything else. That's because it's just a cost of GDP. So the faster your GDP goes up, the faster your civilian spending also goes up without a correlating increase in income. Yeah, I think what's supposed to have fixed it was that focus, which changed my taxation to medium. I think that should have gone to high. I think that's possibly where the Siberia issue lies. Next up, Rurik needs to write a letter to the German. We've already done that. It was a brilliant letter to Bormann. October. So are we going to be able to go off to Western Siberia? Therein lies the question. And I like that this game could definitely keep going. That was always going to be my concern with the Hearts of Iron engine, is once you snowball, you just keep growing, keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. But this has actually done a pretty good job of like limiting your ability to snowball. Advanced development phase. We have hit 100% theoretical. We're on material procurement now. Here we go. Develop mining technologies. Assemble additional processing facilities. That's going to cost me a lot of money. Oh, in fact, all of these cost money. Oh, it's up there in the top. I wonder if the annual upkeep costs go away once you've developed it. Well, we'll soon find out. What's the unification decision? That's once you've taken the rest of these two out. And we're waiting for the unification war, which is 1971. Turret rangefinders done. That was quick. Advanced cannon stabilization. By implementing a complex series of shock absorbers and hydraulics throughout the tank, we can improve the stabilization of the gun to such a degree that it will be able to fire accurately, even when moving. And our tanks are going to be so ridiculous. I mean, they are already completely ridiculous, but they're going to be even more so. It's going to be phenomenal. 19.8 billion again. Damn it! Resource extraction 4. I think what we need is APC upgrades, because those we have lagged behind in. Particularly the... Oh no, that's breakthrough. Armour. Yeah, we want the armour, for sure. And the attack, but the armour mostly. Although the increasing deployment of armoured troop carriers has greatly enhanced the logistical potential of modern armies, these APCs are little more than armoured trucks and highly vulnerable to even small arms fire. Basic plating will help this. At this rate, by 1980, there'll be flying tanks that shoot mini nukes. You mean like the mammoth tanks in Red Alert 2? I think I now have an objective. The Kingdom of Siberia needs to have Red Alert 2's mammoth tanks. Civilian austerity can continue. Oh no, the mammoth tanks didn't fly. They did shoot nukes though. The level 3 ones, once you've got them to level 3 veterancy. They had nukes. Well, in that case, it's probably instead Kirov reporting. Because they flew. They were basically tanks because they had loads of hit points. And they dropped nukes. So Red Alert 2 is in fact the Kingdom of Siberia. There you go. Modify synthetic refinery output. Yes, I want the extra rubber. Large-scale production of synthetic rubber can be further improved and made cheaper with new automated processes to accelerate the dehydrogenation reactions. So are those costs permanent? Yeah, 1.2 billion now. They were permanent. Damn. May need to start producing weapons and armor if I go to war. Maybe. I have a big stockpile though. 1,200 APCs, 500 tanks, near enough 7,000 RPGs, 6,000 artillery, 42,000 guns, 3,000 motorized, 7.6 thousand support equipment, planes. Hell, I even have convoys. Do I have any war goal focuses? Yes, but only available in 1971. The Kingdom of Siberia will escape to the one place not touched by capitalism. Space! Decision available. What decision? What decision? Oh, January. A grand showdown. The Kingdom of Siberia has overcome its obstacles and conquered all other nations in its way, either through peaceful unification or forceful war. Now it stands at a precipice. The vast territories of Russia are expansive, and while the Kingdom of Siberia controls a significant portion of it, there is still more to conquer. We must begin preparing for a war that will challenge our military unlike any other wars that we've seen before. They shall fall. So, manpower... Infrastructure, yeah, that's over on that side. We'll do those. Off-map military factories. Not sure about that this time. Air bases we want. Forts we'll have. Forts. And there we go. Should clarify you can do the decisions but can't declare war. We shall see. We'll see if it was your game that was bugged, or if it's a thing. Because it could be either. I just feel like there should be an end point, and the ability, or otherwise, to declare that war would probably be it. Oh, the forts a permanent fixture? Yep. That's why I want them, because they're just free forts. What's the infiltrate Russian institutions? It is they lose war support, I gain political power. I don't really need that. I think I will take the factories though. Factories are factories, whether I use them right now or not. Though actually I'm going to be able to get all of them, but I'm not going to need the last one. And they haven't actually done anything against me yet. The economy is doing great, and new reforms to industrial subsidies have resulted in the shipping of updated industrial equipment across the country. Products are being produced quicker and cheaper. The further progress of mechanization into the once ossified industrial world will soon prove a boon to the worker and the manager alike. No more long, horrible hours, no more subpar products screwed on by imperfect human hands. Industry continues her march forwards. So we've replaced the rudimentary manufacturing lines with factory complexes, which increases construction speed, resource gain efficiency, factory output, and dockyard output. And we also got the advanced cannon stabilization just in time for the war. Fully upgraded tanks. Excellent. Let's get the light exterior development as well. As APCs have become more adapted to modern battle conditions and harsher environments, the efficiency of the armor has sadly deteriorated. Thankfully, lighter weight plating will soon remedy this situation. And now I can infiltrate, but I'm not going to bother with that one. Just in case we get ready to go, I'm going to turn these on and say, you have my permission to advance. So we started at Powell Tools, we're now at Factory Complexes. It's quite a big boost. And then modern industrial equipment would be next. What's going to be next? 170, or 140, 170. So poverty rate would be the next one. Awesome. Now it'll change us from 2550 to 1525, which will increase taxes substantially. And then maybe that's going to help our situation. Oh, we're making 3 billion surplus now? Why? Revenue's gone up. A lot. Maybe the resources do contribute to GDP. They must do. No, I don't think it's the factories. Factories seem to be just costing me money. I think it's the more resources you have, the more GDP you get, and then the more GDP you get, the more tax you get out of them. And resources don't cost anything to extract, unlike factories, which clearly do. So this is 3 billion, despite the fact I'm now spending 1.2 billion a year in nuclear stuff. Specified armor development. By increasing APC armor plating over the most vulnerable parts of the vehicle, we can keep our troops moving in dangerous situations. Yeah, GDP growth is nice. And that's without having any factories turned on. When did Krylov die in history? I think it was 72. 45, 60% ready. This one's going to add 10, this one's going to add 20, so we can get up to 90%. And I think I will. And if we had the infiltrate Russian institutions, it'd be 100%, but I don't think we need it. Let's actually just do a quick comparison. So they have 109 factories to my 161. They have 47 divisions to my 51. 380,000 troops against my 423,000, so we do outnumber them. 16,000 air force versus 0. They still don't have an air force. None of the Russians miners have had air forces. Let me just double check that my air force is still distributed. It is. Oh, and we actually have manpower this time to, you know, increase the size of them. And I kind of like that idea. So we're going to. Oops, no, don't do that. These guys, that's what I was looking for. Oh, we already did. Aha, okay. %. Now we just need these western fortifications, then we are done. Oh no, we have modern fighters. We're in 1970s. I'm just not building any at the moment because that would require factories, and factories are expensive. 61% towards material procurement. No longer get the effects of civilian austerity, and just to confirm that, just to prove to you that we have 1970 jets. Because remember, we started out building Yaks, we skipped MiG-15s, MiG-21s, went all the way to MiG-23s. Like, I did all the research, but I didn't build any until the MiG-23s, and we do have a fair number of them. They're just already in the air wings. Yak 3, Yak 3, Yak 3, Yak 3. At least I thought they'd be in the air wings. Huh? Oh, don't tell me you have to individually assign them. Because there they are. Oh, they count as different types of planes? Why? That would explain why they're in a different place in the logistics. It would also reset experience when you upgrade them. Well, shoot. Oh well, we're using Yaks. Can't be bothered. I'd assume flying a piston engine is quite different from a jet. Yeah, but it's literally just the yak which is that way. And considering every single kind of fighter is listed, they're all going to be separate. Oh gosh, does that mean if you go to war with anyone that's outside of Russia, you'd have about 1 million different aeroplanes cluttering up your logistics? I don't like that system at all. Okay, that was rubber processing, so now we're going to get the synthetic oil processing. That one we don't need. Oil we produce. Alright, let's go for the military construction. Better coordination amongst our work staff and management will allow us to produce equipment and vehicles faster and of better quality. And deficit, we're down to 1 billion again. Oh, it's because civilians being spent again. That's why. Fixed. Yeah, Germany had jets in World War II. Right at the end. We probably can... Yes, we can. The Shah of Iran assassinated. In the midst of rising unrest across the nation, the Iranian capital of Tehran has now been placed under martial law following the shock assassination of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Targeted during a visit to the University of Tehran, the Shah was shot twice in the chest while walking through the campus and pronounced dead at the scene. Captured alive, state media has since declared the assassin to have been a university student radicalized by the exiled Ruhollah Khomeini. News of the Shah's death had provoked celebration across Iran, much of the nation having turned against the Shah over his so-called White Revolution reforms. With the nation paralysed by unrest and the military stepping in to put down the rioting in several major cities, many question whether Iran's crisis-stricken government will be able to weather this storm. An uncertain future ahead. So we're going to have the Ayatollah. Sudan defeated Sudan Defense Force. Light exterior development, that's APC defense. Specialized ceramic plating. By integrating special ceramic plating around the vulnerable areas of the APC, such as the engines and the main axis, we'll be able to keep them moving even after sustaining heavy damage. No, they still won't have a focus tree. This is all 1970s. There's no way that there's going to be 1970s content. This is supposed to only have covered the 60s. The fact that we got to 71 at all surprises me. That's going to be the next scenario. I really do hope that they weave them together, so it's not just going to be you play as the 60s or you play as the 70s. Instead, if you start in the 60s, you can go all the way through. Because the game is definitely set up where you could do that. Like, there isn't the snowballing. The Socialist Federation of Iran declared war on the Imperial State of Iran. There it is, the Iranian Civil War. Covers up to 72. Okay. Right, because it starts in 62. I was thinking it starts in 60. The Iranian Civil War. All eyes look at the Middle East as the crumbling nation of Iran falls into chaos. Tensions have been high ever since 1953, when an oil scandal led to the assertion of the pro-German Shah Pahlavi. However, a rapidly growing population and literacy rate brought about instability, culminating in the Shah's assassination. The last straw broken, Iran has fallen in civil war. The royal government, headed by the regent Farah Pahlavi, has fortified the north in a desperate bid to halt the onslaught of the Islamists, radicalized student socialists and foreign-backed powers seeking to take over the country. This Iranian Revolutionary Alliance, an unstable republican faction united by the goal of ending monarchism, is expected to siege Tehran within the month. Iraq, an already unstable neighbour, has already become a springboard for mercenaries and endless stream of arms from around the world. Bombings are becoming a regular occurrence as this ancient nation faces its darkest hour. Persian powder keg explodes at last, and Japan gets an error. 20... Oh man, these last technologies are just massive. Advanced sloping plate armor not only cover the most vulnerable spots, but the entirety of the vehicle will make our APCs invincible to most modern infantry equipment. Sweep westwards. Here it is. And with that, we have found that that does indeed not work, so I'm going to call the series here and say thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this. I gotta say, I am impressed. I am very, very impressed, and I'm really looking forward to the next scenario for the 1970s. And then maybe we'll revisit Rurik if and when that happens. But in the meantime, we need to make a choice about who to play as next. So I'm just going to do my sign-off for YouTube. So Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are actually continuing. This is just for YouTube. YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that subscribe button to get notifications when the next videos go live. If you've really enjoyed this, then do also consider checking out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking, because monetization on YouTube is dreadful. Or you can, of course, come and join us over on twitch.tv/MordredViking, where all of this happens live. And it really is always a pleasure to see some new faces over there. It's always nice when someone says, hey, I've just come over from YouTube, because that, honestly, is what YouTube is for these days. It's A, an archive, and B, a way to push people towards Twitch, because YouTube is broken. If you have really enjoyed this, then also consider joining our Discord, which you can find linked in the description below. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.